Hello and welcome back to Favorite Things. You know, a popular topic is attaining Holy Grail watches. My Holy Grail watch does not currently exist. It would be an Omega reissue of the Ranchero. I've already discussed why I love this watch so much, but also what makes it not ideal as an everyday wearer in my two comparison videos between the vintage Ranchero and modern Railmaster, here and here. It's very doubtful that Omega will release a non-diver Seamaster type 36mm manual wind watch with a 3, 6, 9, and 12 dial, as the reissue of the 1957 Railmaster was most likely the closest thing that they're ever going to do in my lifetime. I do want to mention real quick here that my Railmaster is now on another new bracelet. This is a original new Omega bracelet, which was made for the Speedmaster Ed White 321. And this, unlike I said before about the Forstner, is the bracelet that this watch should have originally come with. It's got the original size and proportions of the 1035 Omega Flatlink. It's got a beautiful clasp that is narrower, and it has the original look. And so this bracelet, paired now with the Railmaster, is going to put this watch much closer to my Grail. However, in the meantime, I was interested in something close as an affordable, modern, everyday wearable 36mm watch with the spirit and design cues of the Ranchero. I was between this Lorier Falcon III and the 36mm version of the Traska Summiteer. I really like the sword hands of the Summiteer, which remind me of the second generation Seamaster 300. And I like the cool logo and build quality and also the design originality. However, I was ultimately sold on the case shape and bracelet of the Lorier Falcon III. Plus, I really like those broad arrow hands. Bravo for a company bold enough to offer a Flatlink bracelet instead of the omnipresent oyster-style bracelets. The only thing that I wasn't sure I would like was the honeycomb dial. Let's take a closer look. Lorier has a strong fan base as a well-established micro brand, and the experience has been very satisfying thus far. This is the third generation of the Falcon, the first to offer Arabic numbers on the dial. What's cool about Lorier is they don't homage one particular model, but pay respect to several. In this case, the Explorer 6350, the Railmaster 2914, and according to the website, the 1959 Seiko Alpinist, although it's less in appearance but perhaps more in spirit. Will this work as a modern Ranchero placeholder? Is it close enough? Well, let's take a look. Here are the specs. The Lorier Falcon has a diameter of 36mm, a lug width of 20mm, a case thickness including the acrylic crystal of 11.2mm, and with the bracelet size for my 6 3/4 inch wrist, the weight is 105.7 grams. The movement is a reliable Miyota 90S5. Here are the pros as I see them. Good price. It's $500 and wait times are reasonable. Number 2, nice packaging. A tastefully sized and attractive cardboard box, a nice travel and storage pouch, complete with a link screwdriver, and they always include a polishing cloth and tube of polywatch to help you embrace the benefits of an acrylic crystal. And I love this handwritten welcome card that certainly discourages selling the watch. Good for me and good for them. Number 3, a quality bracelet. Comfortable, but also very high build quality and finishing. The clasp is perfect. Double push button clasp with no unnecessary fold over. And the clasp has 3 well-planned adjustment holes that pretty much guarantee that you'll find the perfect fit of the bracelet. In addition, the bracelet links use screw pins, and since a quality screwdriver is included, it's a joy sizing this bracelet. The Lorier Falcon III has an improved Flatlink bracelet over previous versions. Notice the rounded corners of the center links. That's something that aftermarket bracelet manufacturers such as Forstner and Uncle Seiko have not been successful in achieving. Lorier nailed it with this bracelet. Number 4, a great signed crown in the spirit of the Naiad crown of the Railmaster 2914. This oversized crown measured 6.5 millimeters wide and has almost 3 millimeters of knurling, making it easy to grasp and manipulate. Too bad this isn't a manual winder. Number 5, good movement. It's thin, it's reliable, there's no ghost position, and it's easy to regulate. Okay, next I'm going to talk about some mixed observations that are neutral. Number 1, the bracelet tapers suddenly to allow for more removable links. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but I guess it is price savings, so that's fine. Number 2, like I mentioned before, the large crown is very comfortable to grip, but it makes me wish that there was a manual wound movement in there. That would have made this a truly standout piece in my book. I wish one of the inspiration pieces for the Falcon was the Rolex Commando Reference 6429, which was a manual wound watch. Even Time Factors got that part wrong with their otherwise nice homage to the Commando that uses an automatic movement instead of a manual movement. Number 3, the case profile is very nice with these beautiful brushed lines. It's like a miniaturized Trilogy Railmaster from many angles. And because of that, it's hard not to compare the two. Although the overall thickness of the Railmaster is larger, it's also more elegant. The Railmaster's lug profile is parallel in thickness to the mid-case. And when the center of the case profile is widest, like on the Falcon, it looks a little bloated. Number 4, the fully lumed markers glow an attractive blue color, but they're not quite as bright as they look on the web photos. Maybe the next version will have solid applied lume blocks, like the Traska Summiteer version 4 and the Vertex A100. Number 5, honeycomb dial is okay. I'm still warming up to it. It's kind of an extreme version of a textured dial. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Number 6, the text paint on the dial is nice and precise. It's a silver color instead of the white usual choice. It's nice, but it's also one step away from a gilt dial, which I don't really care for. I would have preferred white or perhaps cream or, heaven forbid, faux patina yellow. Number 7, the bracelet was a bit stiff when it was new, but it's very satisfying feeling it break in. It's also not a pure Omega style Flatlink, but more of an amalgamation of the Omega Flatlink and the Rolex Oyster Link. All right, here are the negatives. Number 1, the dial size is just too small. There's just too much metal between the edge of the case and the dial, similar to the Trilogy Railmaster, in fact. I count at least 5 concentric rings between the dial and the bezel, opposite the Ranchero, which has a big dial to case ratio. Number 2, the seconds marker are just a bit too short and hard to see. It's also harder to set the exact time. Number 3, when unscrewing the crown, the pop is very subtle, and screwing it back down is not super precise. Kind of makes you think that you're maybe cross-threading the crown tube. And again, the crown invites you to wind it, but there's little need to do so as it's an automatic movement. Number 4, like the Serica 4512 field watch, which I reviewed, if the Falcon suffers from anything, it's that it makes too many compromises. But at the same time, that's also a strength. The dial is Explorer-esque, the case and hands are nods to Omega. The bracelet is a hybrid between Omega's Flatlink and Rolex's Oyster Links. So it's got the case diameter of a Ranchero, the dial and wearing profile of the Explorer, and the case shape of a Railmaster. So what position does it satisfy in my collection and my wearing rotation? My obsessive planning mind says either I keep the Falcon and sell the Railmaster, Ranchero, and the Explorer, or keep all those 3 and I sell the Laurier. My Zen mind, however, tells me to just chill out, stop thinking, and enjoy them all until you don't, and then sell what makes sense at the time. I think that's a better plan. Overall, the Falcon is a great adventure watch on a high-quality bracelet that needs no modification to enjoy, especially with its high value for cost. It captures the original spirit of the earlier Rolex Explorers, and I look forward to giving it good use and growing older with it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.